Okay, I'm going live. You may proceed.
Good evening. Welcome to the Costa Mesa Planning Commission meeting for Monday, November 23rd. We call the meeting to order, and I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If all commissioners would please mute your microphones. Thank you. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have everybody back? Yes, great, thank you. Julie, could you please conduct the voice roll call?
Chair Jericho,
Here.
Vice Chair Harlan,
Here.
Commissioner Colbert,
Present.
Commissioner Perkins,
Here.
Commissioner Russell,
Here.
Commissioner Torje is absent, Commissioner Zick,
Here.
Excellent, thank you, Julie. In order to minimize the spread of the COVID-19 virus, Governor Newsom has issued executive orders that temporarily suspend requirements of the Brown Act, which allows Planning Commission members to attend Planning Commission meetings telephonically. Given the health risks associated with COVID-19, the City Council chambers will be closed to the public until further notice. If you'd like to participate in this meeting, you can participate via the following options. You are encouraged to observe the Planning Commission meetings live on Costa Mesa TV. That's Spectrum Channel 3 and AT&T Uverse Channel 99, and online at youtube.com/Costa Mesa TV. You can also participate via Zoom by following the instructions on tonight's agenda, which you can find online at the city's website. During the public comment portion of the meeting, if you are participating via Zoom, use the raise hand function located in the participants window and wait for the city staff to announce your name and unmute your line when it is your turn to speak. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or as otherwise directed. You can also participate in tonight's meeting via telephone by dialing 1-669-900-6833. The webinar ID is 960-6037-9921. And the passcode is 595958. During the public comment period, if you are participating by a telephone, press *9 to add yourself to the queue and wait for city staff to announce your name or phone number, and then press *6 to unmute your line when it is your turn to speak. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or as otherwise directed. So with that, we have a very special presentation this evening that gives me a great deal of joy and a little bit of sadness. As the audience may know, and certainly our commissioners know, our beloved Vice Chair, Jeffrey Harlan, was elected the first council member to serve District 6 this last November 3rd election. And so this is his last Planning Commission meeting tonight. We do have a proclamation to read into the record that will be presented to Jeff in the next few days. But before I read that proclamation, and I'll permit the commissioners after I read the proclamation to offer any comments they wish to Jeff. I just want to say, Jeff, I've known you several years. We were columnists together at the Daily Pilot at one time, and I've always followed your work. And when you became a member of the Planning Commission, I was very excited because I knew of your excellent background as a certified land planner and as also a lawyer specializing in land use. And I knew I could probably count on your wise counsel on those technical aspects of those two professions and benefit from your wisdom as we deliberated on issues before us. Some were complex, others not. And I wasn't disappointed. I've learned so much from you, Jeff. I respect you so much. I respect your talents. I'm going to miss you on the Planning Commission, but I know you'll be close by on the council. And hopefully I can ping you at any time to discuss issues relative to planning, but congratulations on your election. Excellent campaign. And I know District 6 has an elected, an outstanding representative. So with that, I'm going to read the proclamation of the record, and then we'll follow along with commissioners who wish to make some remarks to Jeff. So this is a proclamation to Jeffrey Harlan, a proclamation of the Planning Commission of the City of Costa Mesa commending Jeffrey Harlan for his service on the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission of the City of Costa Mesa hereby proclaims, whereas Jeffrey Harlan was appointed to the Planning Commission in February 2017, and whereas Mr. Harlan served as Vice Chair of the Planning Commission between February 2019 and November 2020, and whereas Mr. Harlan contributed to the betterment of the community through his careful and thoughtful deliberations and actions on a number of significant development projects, plans, and ordinances. And whereas Mr. Harlan's professional background in land use, specializing in sustainable development and environmental design, provided insightful input for important land use policy recommendations. And whereas Mr. Harlan has a Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Design from the University of Pennsylvania and a Juris Doctor from Vermont Law School. And whereas Mr. Harlan fulfilled his responsibilities as a planning commissioner in a conscientious and professional manner. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Costa Mesa Planning Commission hereby gratefully records and extends its sincere appreciation and the appreciation of the community to Jeffrey Harlan for his faithful and excellent service on the Planning Commission, dated this 23rd day of November 2020, signed by the chair, Byron D. Oracle. Congratulations, Jeff, very much. Good luck on the city council. I'm going to start with you, Commissioner Russell. Anything to say?
Well, first of all, just congratulations to Commissioner Harlan / city council member. I'm going to miss your insight and just your perspective. I'm sad to see you go, but I'm really excited to see that kind of leadership on the city council. So we'll miss you here and look forward to seeing you other places.
Thank you.
Commissioner Colbert.
I ditto those comments of Commissioner Russell. I wrote down the words ditto, unique perspective and great insight, because I really appreciate your perspective that you always bring to the council. I'm into commission that you'll be bringing to council, and the sound judgment that you have. I think that you have been someone fair. And I think even when we had moments of disagreement, I really respected why we landed on those different sides of those opinions, of whichever they may have been. So I'm really excited about seeing you grow, and whatever your initiatives are on the council, I look forward to them, because I know they're going to be great for not only District 6, but the entire city of Costa Mesa. So it's been a pleasure working with you and learning from you more importantly. And so best of luck. Thank you.
Commissioner Zick. Any comments tonight?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jeff, congratulations to you. You ran a strong campaign. You ran a good campaign. You ran a positive campaign. And you talked about positive things you wanted to do. You didn't talk down other candidates. And I think it's not surprising. I think it's a credit to your character. I also am looking forward to seeing your influence on council. And although you represent District 6, and that's the way things are set up, I'm quite confident that you're wearing a bigger hat than that, and will be representing the entirety of the city of Costa Mesa, as I hope every council member does, but I'm quite confident that you will be doing that, and good luck to you.
Hey, Commissioner Perkins.
Echoing all the other positive comments that have been said here, I think what stands out most to me, Councilmember-elect Harlan, is how much you welcomed me very early on. I stepped into this role very quickly and with some very big items, and I still remember your welcoming, friendly, just helping and being able to follow you as a model for how to fairly educate matters on this commission. So you've been a tremendous role model and a tremendous friend to me on this group, and I really appreciate that. And I wish you the absolute best serving on the City Council, and I look forward to seeing you there. So have fun.
Thank you, Jeff. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll have your proclamation to you shortly, and good luck on council.
Thank you.
Looking forward to your work.
Appreciate it.
If you have anything you would like to share with us.
I was going to save it for commissioner comments, but we might as well start the clock ticking and be as brief as I can. This is bittersweet for me as well. It's hard to believe it's been nearly 4 years on the Planning Commission. I have nothing but respect and admiration for my colleagues and our city staff. I have appeared before a number of planning commissions in a number of communities, and I say this with all truthfulness. This is the most intelligent and thoughtful group of commissioners I've seen, I'm humbled by all your comments and appreciation. I do this because I care about the community, and I do this because I want to try and make the best decisions that we have. And it really is a pleasure for me to be able to sit there on the dais with you all. I'm saddened that the last 9 months we've been apart because I feel like we've missed a little bit, not just in seeing each other, but really being able to kind of get into some issues. But you have all brought just a great amount of dedication and wonderful perspectives, and your backgrounds really have served all of us well here. I do want to make particular comments with regards to and appreciation for our chair, Byron. I could never have done this without you, and I feel like even in the beginning you kind of took me under your wing and helped me through all this. You are a model chairperson. You're a model citizen. And I think we've been very fortunate to have your guidance here, especially during these very difficult times for our city. And city staff has been tremendous through all this. I don't know most of the public recognizes how much work and effort goes into not just preparing agendas and staff reports, but actually just managing the whole planning process. It is just tremendous, and they've done just an incredibly professional job in all the years that I've been here. And I want to give a particular commendation of sorts, I guess, to Julie, because she's been the one constant since I've been on council, and is really the one who behind the scenes make everything work. And that makes it easier for us to do our job. So thank you very much, Julie. I guess that's about it. I'm really excited for my next chapter of my public service life. I'm obviously not going very far, and I will be keeping a very close eye on the Planning Commission. We've got a number of important issues coming up, so I will now get to be a spectator of sorts. So keep your meetings brief, please, but do the best job. Thank you.
Very nice, my friend. Best wishes to you on the City Council. That brings us to public comment. Public comments will be heard at this time on items that are not listed on the agenda, but are within our jurisdiction. We'll open public comment. If you would like to speak, to please use the raise hand option at the bottom of the screen. If you are joining the meeting on your phone and would like to speak, please press *9. Ms. Colgan, do we have any members of the public wish to speak during public comments?
No, we do not.
Okay. So I will close public comment. This loops us back to commissioner comments. Apart from our adieus to Vice Chair Harlan, we'll begin with Vice Chair Harlan. Sir, any other comments?
No, none tonight.
Okay,
thank you, Chair.
Very good. Commissioner Russell.
Thank you. Just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Have a safe time this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Colbert.
Same. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I just hope everyone is safe. If you choose to travel, do it safely. If you choose to stay at home, I hope you eat well and just practice gratitude. I think this year has taught us a lot, and we have just this Thanksgiving holiday to really reflect on all that we have to be grateful for. So much has been taken from us, but we're still here, and I think we could just appreciate the time that we've been given and just practice gratitude. So if you can, give an air hug to your closest family members or just those that you are living with, just hug them near, because so many people have lost those nearest to them. And this is going to be one of the first holidays that they won't have them here. So just appreciate everybody you have and love on them as much as you can. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Practice gratitude. I like that. Thank you, Commissioner Colbert. Commissioner Zick.
I share the comments and wishes of my colleagues, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Perkins.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to just talk a little bit about COVID and say that, we live in difficult times, and times when it's, I think, difficult sometimes to give thanks. Today there were 1,422 new diagnosed cases of COVID reported. We've had 1,500 people die of COVID in this county alone. These are our own county data. And that's a lot of people who will not be sitting at the Thanksgiving table. And that is very, very difficult. And we've got about a 2% fatality rate for identified cases. So of those 1,400 people who were diagnosed today or reported today, 31 of those may not make it to the new year if these odds hold. And that assumes that our hospitals can maintain the high quality of care they've been providing for the past 8 months. If hospitals get overwhelmed, or if their staff whom word heroic doesn't even come close to adequately describing what they're doing, are getting exhausted after 9 months. These numbers are staggering, and they're exponentially increasing. 2 weeks ago, we had roughly 400 cases a day. 2 weeks before that, we had roughly 200 cases a day. And again, today we had 1,400 cases reported. I think in this time, especially giving thanks and gratitude, we should ask, what can we do to help stop this? What can we do, no matter how small, to help stop even one person from getting sick with COVID, to help one person make it through to the new year? Some of us are at exceptionally high risk of this. The countywide case fatality rate for people over the age of between 75 and 85 is 15%. Over the age of 85, it is 30%. 30% of people over the age of 85 who've been diagnosed positive with COVID-19 have died. That is terrifying. We need to all come together to help those among us who are most vulnerable. And especially now, because despite all the possible reasons, and especially as a biologist, I've seen those reasons why it could have failed. We actually may have a vaccine coming. There is a light at the end of this long and isolating tunnel. What we need to do is get through these coming few months, this next year, healthy. So again, we need to ask, what can we do to help stop this? What can we do? What small thing can those of us who are just individuals do to help stop it? And one of those answers, which I know is exceptionally hard, is think very hard about canceling Thanksgiving gatherings, canceling holiday meetups, canceling holiday travel. I know it's hard, but we need to come together. We need to help keep each other healthy. And part of this, and it's a very hard thing to realize, is that even if you've had a negative test result, that does not mean you are not infected right now. That means you were not infected, depending on the test, a day to a week or more before your sample was collected. You have no way. That's one of the cruel things of this disease. We cannot know if we are infected and if we are infectious to others. And so that makes these decisions very difficult. Small gatherings can spread it. There's the likelihood of any particular interaction spreading the virus. It's a sliding scale. There's no magic barrier at 6 feet that prevents viral spread. There's no magic wind that prevents outdoor gatherings from spreading the virus. So please, as my fellow commissioner said, follow state and public health guidelines, wear a mask, stay distanced, limit all non-essential travel outside of your house, and limit all non-essential gatherings, which unfortunately includes Thanksgiving. which brings me back to giving thanks, despite not being able to gather in person, despite having so much pain and suffering over this year. We do have much to give thanks for, and many, many who deserve our thanks. So I wanted to thank, and hope everyone can thank, all of the healthcare workers, be they frontline staff or all of the support staff who have helped keep people healthy, and public health workers, all the public safety workers, and all the people who support those public safety workers, all of the scientists and the people who support those scientists, and who have worked day in and day out to try to prevent this from getting even worse. All of the business owners who fought to keep their employees safe, fought to keep their businesses open and providing services. All of the workers who've been deemed essential or have been unable to stay home because they were financially or otherwise forced to go to work. All of the teachers and school staff who are now returning under very risky conditions to help educate our children and keep that going. And finally, I think we need to give thanks to each other. It has been 9 months that we never could have imagined, and we have come together. We have been flexible. We have shown compassion, and we need to thank each other for that and come together and see beyond politics and color as we fight this virus off for these hopeful final few months, as we protect those among us who are most vulnerable. It looks like this will end. Let's make sure we all make it safely so we can celebrate together next year. Have a great and happy, if less social than usual, Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Commissioner Perkins. Okay, so just a couple of notes on my part. I first want to extend my congratulations to Mayor Foley for her reelection as mayor of the city of Costa Mesa. And also my congratulations, as I mentioned, to Vice Chair Harlan for his election to District 6. And Lauren Gameros for his election to as District 2 City Council member, and Don Harper for his election as District 1 City Council member. I wish all of you the best, and hope that the City Council will continue to provide vision through the city for the city through this pandemic, and to address the major issues that we have coming before us relative to housing and economic development and sustainability. So congratulations to all. I also want to extend my wish to everyone in Costa Mesa and beyond, actually, a happy Thanksgiving. Just, you know, there are the folks I do want to recognize and remember is there's going to be nurses and doctors in hospitals on Thanksgiving Day and evening who won't be home with their families, who are caring for people not only who have COVID-19, but are sick in other ways. And I just recall it because this time last year my mother was very ill and at Hoag Hospital, and we went to see her during Thanksgiving when she was hospitalized, and there were doctors and nurses there that weren't going to have Thanksgiving evening, and that never left me. That those folks take an oath and sacrifice valuable time with their families to take care of the sick. So let's remember them. Also, our first responders, our police officers who will be on deployment, and our firefighters who will be on deployment in station or out running medical aid calls on Thanksgiving Day and Thanksgiving evening. They too will not be home with their families, and they provide obviously a valuable service keeping us healthy and safe. So enjoy the holiday, everyone, and be safe. Okay, with that, that takes us to the consent calendar. We have no items on the consent calendar tonight. One bit of housekeeping that I need to relay to the public. A public notice was sent out for an application ZA 20-14, which is a request for a minor conditional use permit, a deviation from parking standards for an individual and group counseling use. The applicant was Treehouse. That item is not on our agenda tonight and will be agendized at a future meeting, and that item will be renoticed to the public. So if there are any members of the public tonight who received a notice and are here to speak on ZA 20-14, which is not on the agenda tonight. That will be agendized for a subsequent meeting and it will be renoticed. So apologize for the inconvenience if you're here to speak to that item. So that takes us to public hearings. Julie, please read title for public hearing item number 1, please.
Public hearing item number 1, zoning application 20-17 for a modified plan signing program for Randy's Donut at 2930 Harbor Boulevard. Please note that we have received 1 public comment that has been provided to the commission and made a part of the record. This is a call to report any ex parte communications.
Commissioners, any ex parte communications to report? Please raise your hand if there are. Commissioner Perkins.
I need to recuse myself from this one because out of an abundance of caution, I'm within close proximity of this project location.
Very good. Thanks for the reminder. Ms. Colgan, could you place Commissioner Perkins in the waiting room? And let us know when we're clean to proceed.
You may proceed. He is on hold right now.
Thank you, Ms. Colgan. Mr. Yeager, the floor is yours. Please proceed.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. Let me just pull the screen up. Alrighty, so tonight we have the second iteration of a plan signing program at 2930 Harbor Boulevard for Randy's Donuts. Here we go. The project site is located on Harbor Boulevard between Village Way and Dale Way, just south of Baker. And it consists of a parcel, it's approximately 1/3 of an acre with an existing building, which was a former Jack in the Box. It's currently under construction for improvements related to Randy's Donuts moving in. The project, it is zoned in the C2 zone, General Business District, and it has a land use designation of general commercial. There are other C2 properties to the north and south, other commercially zoned C1 properties across Harbor Boulevard, and then MG to the east. The existing site, as I said, it is the former location of the Jack in the Box. The existing signage here will be removed as part of the application, including the freestanding sign and the wall sign visible in the image. And this is the second time around for this application. On October 12th, the Planning Commission approved a 23-foot tall, 16-foot diameter freestanding donut sign at the front of the property. This approval, it did include a condition that the applicant may come back with an alternative roof-mounted sign within 60 days. And the applicants took advantage of that condition and resubmitted the application that's being presented tonight. The current iteration of the plan signing program includes a sign in the shape of a donut towards the front of the building mounted above the roof. It also includes the unchanged directional convenience signs and the wall sign. The code allows for discretionary review through plan signing programs of signage that does not meet the sign standards within the zoning code. This application proposes signage that exceeds both the total sign area and also includes a roof-mounted sign, which is not allowed per the code. So the roof-mounted sign, it is proposed to be shaped like a donut, similar to the last sign, and this one is 25 feet in diameter. The sign, it will be mounted on 2 posts, which would extend through the existing eaves of the building, and it would be attached to footings within the existing patio. The total height of the sign, it's just less than 40 feet at 39 feet 11 inches, and it would be taller, approximately 15 feet 11 inches taller than the existing freestanding sign that's on the property and to be removed. The sign as presented, it is proposed to be approximately 433 square feet, and the sign is proposed to be illuminated via uplighting from the landscaping area, and it is proposed to be lit on the one side facing Harbor Boulevard. And here's the elevation showing the entirety of the front of the building. Again, the sign 39 feet 11 inches, and in total would be about 21 feet 8 inches higher than the top of the parapet. The wall sign proposed in this application, it is unchanged from the original approval, and it is approximately 41 square feet, and it is proposed to be illuminated internally. And the convenience sign is also unchanged, and it is in the front landscape area, 9 square feet. And the municipal code does indicate that convenience signs, including directional signs such as this, are not counted towards the total sign area for the property. The property is directly, the property that is directly north of at 2950 Harbor has the existing Metro Car Wash freestanding sign that you can see on the left there. It is approximately 35 feet in height and approximately 270 square feet in area. The business has closed, and it is unclear if any future business coming in would keep that sign or if they would remove it. In addition, across the street from the subject site is the sign that you see in the middle. And the Planning Commission previously approved a plan signing program authorizing this sign as well as others on the property. This one is 45 feet in height and approximately 264 square feet in area. And just down the street is the Connell Chevrolet sign, which you can see on the right side here, and it is 47 feet in height. In addition to these three examples, any drive or walk up down Harbor Boulevard would reveal many other large signs. In 2011, the sign code was amended to restrict the height and size of signs, and one of the primary reasons was to reduce the impacts on residential properties. The donut sign, as proposed here, it would be visible from the Camden Martinique apartments that face west, and it should be noted that these apartments were notified of the application. The closest apartment to the sign would be approximately 550 feet away, and the side of the donut that is facing these apartments is not proposed to be illuminated. Other signs are visible from the apartment complex here, including the Orange Coast dealership sign. On the other side of Harbor Boulevard, off of Pepper Tree Lane, there is an apartment complex on the east side, which the second story apartments, which you can see in the image in the bottom right here, they would likely be able to see the donut sign as well. You can see in between the two apartments there is a small, the car dealership sign is visible from there as well. The applicant has provided the visibility from the alley behind the apartments, and that's what you can see in the upper left here. From the alley, the buildings would be blocking the signage. In addition, the applicants have provided some illustrations, some visuals to show the donut sign as proposed. This is from northbound Harbor Boulevard. You can see the donut sign on the right side of the screen there. And from southbound Harbor Boulevard through the landscape median, you can see the sign as proposed, as well as the Orange Coast dealership signs on the right. As I briefly mentioned, the donut sign is proposed to be illuminated from uplighting, and it is proposed to be illuminated on the harbor side, Harbor Boulevard side only. Staff has included a condition that the uplighting be shielded to reduce any impacts on residents or traffic. The sign that's being proposed, it is fairly similar to the Downey sign, which was recently constructed. The Downey location, it is taller at 42 feet, and it does have similar uplighting that is being proposed. However, the lighting comes from roof-mounted lighting as opposed to lighting in the landscaping. Within the staff report, staff provided the various findings, and the signage does comply with the general plan. It's consistent with the intent of the sign regulations, and that the sign will not be out of character within the immediately surrounding area, and it would have very limited impacts on residential properties. The signage has a consistent design motif and is consistent with the iconic branding of Randy's Donuts. In addition, there are other taller signs in the area. As I also mentioned, we included a condition that the uplighting be shielded to minimize any impacts on traffic or residential properties, and that the landscaping in the front setback be upgraded to come into more conformance with the city's landscaping requirements. With that, staff is recommending that the Planning Commission adopt a resolution to find that the project is categorically exempt from the provisions of CEQA and to approve zoning application 20-17 subject to the conditions of approval. So I'm happy to take any questions, and the applicant, Kevin McConnell, as well as Randy's Donuts owner, Mark Collegian, are available as well for questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yeager. Commissioners, if you have any questions of staff on the item, please use your raise hand button at this time. Take yourself off mute when I call you. I'm not seeing any raised hands. Oh, Commissioner Zick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A quick question, Mr. Yeager, and if you could put up the rendition of the southbound Harbor Boulevard view. I have a question in reference to that. It's also in our staff report, handwritten, page 18. Yeah, that view there. So I know perspective is probably the answer to my question, but you indicated that that Orange Coast sign was 45 feet tall. And if the Randy's Donut sign is 39 feet tall, I guess when I looked at this picture, I just wondered about that. Is that just due to perspective that the donut does not seem to be taller? It almost appears to be like half the height of the Orange Coast sign. That's probably not the case. Is it just the drawing or the perspective?
It may be a bit of both. The perspective is definitely a part of this. The Orange Coast dealership sign is closer to the image that's being taken, so it would appear larger. And then the Randy's Donut location is further away, so it would appear smaller. But you may wish to ask the applicant how they came up with these renderings as well.
Okay, that's it for my questions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Zick. Any other commissioners? Okay, seeing that I have two, and the applicant may have to answer one of them. So just as a kind of a general kind of more for the public's education and maybe even mine, I could be wrong on this assumption. So our municipal code allows signage to be authorized under a plan signing program, and that plan signing program may be calling out for specifications of a sign that do not meet our sign code or our underlying signage code. So is it similar to sort of like a specific plan where a project might come forward with a specific set of design standards that serve as the code for that particular project, even though some of those codes may not be in alignment with our underlying code? Is it similar? Kind of a signage specific plan?
It's fairly similar. The signage programs, we are constantly referencing them when sign applications come in. If there are underlying sign programs, we need to make sure that any new signage that's proposed is consistent or in line with the signing program that was approved in the past. So the quick answer is yes, it is fairly similar. Okay.
So my other question is relative to the lighting. So the specification of the application is calling for uplighting of the donut from the landscape area in front versus the roof-mounted uplighting. Why is that necessary, or why was that particular application of lighting chosen versus roof-mounted?
I'd like to reserve that question for the applicant.
Okay, I figured you might. So it's out there and they can scribble together their answers. Okay, so seeing no other questions from the commission, I will open the public hearing and ask if the applicant or the applicant's representative is present. And I see that Mr. Collegian and Mr. McConnell are both present. So whichever gentleman wish to speak first, I will ask that you state your name and address for the record. And then once you speak, I have a question for you. So who's up for the applicant? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Looks like Mr. Collegian.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can. How are you today, sir?
Good, thank you.
Good.
First
Can
off,
I ask if have you read the staff report and the conditions of approval, and do you agree with them?
yes, I have, and yes, I do. And I wanted to first say that I appreciate the commission coming back together to take another look at this application. As we have said from the outset, you know, the donut on the roof is part of our identity, part of our soul. So I really appreciate it. I can answer any other questions that might be asked with respect to the lighting from the landscaping versus the roof. I don't know. Yeah, that's way beyond my my pay grade. I imagine though that because the distance between the roof itself, the eave, and the start of the donut, I think you have to be further back. My experience with the other donuts we have is that the lighting has to be has to be a considerable distance away from the donut itself in order to be able to get the top and the bottom of the donut. So I believe that's probably the reason why, but I assume Kevin could answer that perhaps a little better if need be.
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct.
And I think I understand what you're saying now that I'm looking at the side view.
Page 3.
Like the donut, yeah, it's right at the edge of the roof, so I can see where you can't get any setback for lighting and get an angle up. So that explains it to me. So thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Collegian or Mr. McConnell, any other comments you'd like to make?
Nothing more at this time. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Yes.
Sure. Commissioners, do you have any questions of the applicant? Please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, I will open this item for public comment. Any member of the public wishing to speak to this item, please raise your hand. Ms. Colgan, could you please call for the first public speaker?
Yes, I'm going to allow phone number ending in 9921 to talk.
And please press star 6 to unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Am I on?
You are.
Oh, hi. I just want to say thanks everyone for all your hard work. I really appreciate it. I just joined in this Zoom. I'm from District 6. Shout out to Jeff Harlan. Congratulations. I voted for you. And also want to say, very interesting that, you know, we're talking about the donut here, because I went to USC and this was down the street from us. And it was always fun going there. So interesting to see that there might be one in Costa Mesa. I find it exciting. I do have 2 questions. One is, will it have sprinkles? And the second one is, you know, I'm pretty health conscious. I'm wondering if it might be gluten-free.
Oh, those are pressing questions, and I will have the applicant answer them when we get through the rest of the public comments. Thank
Perfect.
you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
And I hope it gets passed.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Colgan, next speaker.
Okay, if Nader McHale can, I will allow you to talk.
And please, go ahead. Thank you.
Hi, this is Dr. Nader McHale. Thanks for taking my call with this. Regarding the signage for the height, we're using a comparison of 39 feet compared to the others along that stretch, which are 45 feet. However, all the others on Harbor that I drive past are predominantly car dealerships, which is appropriate for that area because of the length of the street and the amount of dealerships. So this one is different in its usage, being a restaurant, being a large donut, and also with the shape. If you can bring up the picture again of the shape compared to all the other ones, obviously this one's circular and it's standing out compared to the other square ones. The second or third main difference would be the illumination. The illumination causing more light pollution. This one again is going to be from the ground rather than something which is internally illuminated like the car dealerships, which causes less scatter, less glare. And by the presentation, it was shown that it's still going to be visible from the apartments, which are about 500 feet away. Both the first set and then the second set that were brought up. So I just had concerns, how are the driving down Harbor going to be addressed, especially with making it possibly more dangerous, more distracting with the light illumination, as well as it not exactly conforming with what the policy is meant to address, which is the like signage of the car dealerships or other square signs.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your comments. Ms. Colgan, any other speakers?
No, it doesn't look like we have anybody else.
Okay, and we did receive the one email correspondence this afternoon. Thank you for that. So I will go ahead and close the public comment portion of the public hearing. Commissioners, do you have any further questions of the applicant? Please use the raise hand button. Okay, seeing none, I will close the public hearing. And I will make a motion. I move that we find that the project is categorically exempt from the provisions of the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, per CEQA guidelines section 15311, class 11, accessory structures, and approve zoning application 20-17 with a modified design as presented subject to conditions of approval. I see that there's a second by the vice chair. Any comments on the motion, commissioners, please raise your hand. Commissioner Zick, and then Vice Chair Harlan, and then Commissioner Colbert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think for anybody that watched the last meeting where this item was in front of us would know that I was hopeful that a solution like this was possible. And so first of all, I'd like to thank my fellow commissioners for supporting the condition of approval that allowed this applicant to return with a modified design if they so chose to pursue that. I'd also like to thank staff because I know it's a challenge just doing work once, but to work up an entire analysis a second time for essentially the same project probably is maybe not as exciting as taking on a new project. So I want to thank the staff for their hard work on this. But I really want to thank the applicant. In our discussion at the last meeting, as hopeful as I was that this could come about, I think I left the meeting feeling that there wasn't a great deal of optimism that the applicant would be able to find a way, either from an engineering standpoint, a timing standpoint, a cost standpoint, to make this happen. Clearly you have done that. I said at the last meeting, I thought it was important that we try to find ways to support businesses that want to make an investment in the city. And taking on a business like the Jack in the Box location and turning it into what is really a Southern California iconic business I think we're lucky to have that kind of business make that kind of an investment here in the city. My primary concern about the signage last time was the way it essentially used up the landscape setback. You know, we have these landscape setback requirements for developments for a reason, and it's to add, you know, a pleasing separation, kind of a gradual introduction from the street to the business. And by getting the sign out of that landscape setback and up onto your roof, I think has multiple benefits. And the one that I'm highlighting is the benefit to preserving the landscape setback with landscaping. So I like that. In terms of the visual impact, one thing that hasn't been commented on that I think is worth pointing out is that the way the sign is, the donut is oriented, it's oriented 90 degrees from the auto dealership signs that were cited as a reference for height. And by that, I mean that if you're looking down Harbor Boulevard, and the two renditions from the south and the north, I think really illustrate this, you're seeing the donut in profile, not head on. So that 25-foot wide donut, you really don't begin to see until you're closer to the business and in front of it. And in a way, I think that's a very positive visual way to deal with a sign of this size. So I like the design that you've done, and I'm really excited about this. And again, I really want to thank everyone for their respective part in allowing this to come about. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Let's go with Commissioner Colbert.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to also talk about this because one of my concerns was related to the lighting, the visibility, and the setbacks that came up during our previous meeting. So this is great. Thanks to the applicant for addressing those concerns head on and bringing back a solid application again to something that I feel like is going to be an improvement, of course, to this street, and in terms of a new business, a new icon to the city. I've never tried Randy's Donuts, but I'm looking forward to it. But I think this is going to be, this is the type of economic boom that you want to see, especially during a time like this. So thanks for hearing the commission out. And I know sometimes our comments can be a bit weighty, but I think this is a request that was heard. And I think this is the type of improvement that we like to see, because this is going to be a staple in our community for quite some time. So I'll look forward to supporting this application. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Colbert. Commissioner Russell, and then Vice Chair Harlan.
Yeah, I also want to thank the applicant. I was quite surprised to see that you were able to figure out how to give us what amounted to a bigger sign, because in that we gave you the option and you were able to pull it off. It's exciting because Randy's Donuts is an iconic brand in the community, and Costa Mesa now has 4 or 5 of the top donut shops in Orange County, and I look forward to this being another, another addition to our gourmet donut shops. So thank you for your work. Thanks to the staff for the extra work that you put on doing this, and I look forward to supporting it.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Russell. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, thank you, Commissioner Colbert, for giving me the honor of doing the second on this. I was really hoping to make the motion, but the chair beat me to it, so I'll forgive you, maybe, Byron. But I really do want to thank my colleagues here on this. I really don't have much to add. I mean, and I had commented earlier about the intelligence and thoughtfulness of our commission. I think that's on prime display here. I especially agree with Commissioner Zick's comments about the profile of the structure. I think that analysis was spot on, and the fact that we are really, I think, enhancing our streetscape with this design. I do want to thank the applicant, of course. We left open the opportunity the last time around, and you've seized on that opportunity, and I think have come back with a design that is much more in line with what I think we all were hoping for. And I don't want to overuse the word iconic, but I think it does create the value on Harbor Boulevard that we're really hoping for. So I want to thank the applicant for their not just design effort here, but their investment in Costa Mesa. And I will gladly be supporting this as my final motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Harlan. So my quick comments: I love it when government's flexible. I love it when government and the private sector can work together to find a creative solution. And I'm happy things worked out. So Julie, if you could please call the voice roll.
Chair Jericho?
Aye.
Vice Chair Harlan?
Aye.
Commissioner Colbert?
Aye.
Commissioner Russell?
Aye.
Sorry, that was an aye, right? You got kind of cut off.
Yes, it was. It was definitely an aye.
And Commissioner Zick?
Yes.
That motion carries 5-0 with Commissioner Perkins recusing himself and Commissioner Tourget absent.
Excellent. And that decision is final unless appealed to the City Council within 7 days. And if Ms. Colgan, if you could have Commissioner Perkins join us.
Okay, I think he is joining us now.
There he is. Excellent. Okay, that brings us to departmental reports. Public services report, Mr. Mejia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I only have a quick update to give you tonight, and that is to let you know that we have multiple contractors working throughout the city doing street repairs, like on Bear Street, on Santa Ana Avenue. But I wanted to highlight two projects that are kind of important right now, and that is the completion of our first electric vehicle charging station here at City Hall. So when all of us come back, all of you come back to City Hall, and our City Council chambers is open, you can bring your electric car and charge it at one of our charging stations. There'll be a total of 9 ports when we are done with it, and one of those is going to be a level 3 or a fast charging station. Another project that is going on, and this one is a partnership between the city and the County of Orange, and that is the creation of a brand new park at the intersection of Santa Ana Avenue and Del Mar University. That project is moving ahead on schedule as we speak, or today they were paving Santa Ana Avenue, and then they're going to move to do more of the park improvements. And those are all of the updates that I have for you tonight. I wish you a happy and safe Thanksgiving holiday to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mejia. Same to you. Development Services Report, Ms. Lee.
Good evening, Chair, Planning Commissioners. I just wanted to provide a quick update this evening regarding our housing element update process. As most of you know, last week was the kickoff of our community outreach process. We held our first virtual town hall community meeting last Wednesday, November 18th. We had a session in English at 6 p.m. and then a presentation also in Spanish at 7:30 p.m. We did outreach for this meeting in a different way than we have in the past. We really utilized our social media platforms, as well as posting on our website. We did some individual outreach between city staff and some community organizations, and really used a variety of different sources than we normally do as part of this process. And we even did our first city text blast, which is a new technology for us to further promote attendance at these meetings. And we had over nearly 80 attendees at our first town hall meeting, which was great. This is the first of what will be many community outreach events and many opportunities for our residents to provide feedback on this process. We are looking to schedule our next round of meetings, which will include district meetings as well as some focus group meetings. So we are working on that, and we'll continue to update our website with that information. So with that, I wanted to point all of our community and all of our residents to the city's website. It's www.costamaca.gov/housing-element-update. And this is our housing element update page. We've posted a lot of information there already, and we will include a posting of the first town hall meeting, a recording, as well as a copy of the presentation. And very importantly, we also have there posted a link to a community survey. This is the first of what will be several surveys, informational surveys throughout this process. And the idea is to really ask a series of questions that provide a basic level of information and feedback from our residents as to what they would like to see in terms of future housing in Costa Mesa. So we've received 35 responses so far, and it was just posted last Wednesday. So we'll be doing some additional outreach to really push that survey and push completion of that survey. So please visit our website, complete the survey, and you will be hearing from us shortly on our next round of community meetings. So thank you very much. I wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. I had a chance to listen in on the housing element presentation, and it was nice to see such active participation among community members. So that was good. Mr. Preziosi, City Attorney report.
Sure. I have no report tonight, but happy Thanksgiving to the Commission and the audience.
Thank you very much, sir. I also want to wish the Costa Mesa community a happy and healthy Thanksgiving, and we'll stand in adjournment until our regularly scheduled meeting on December 14th, 2020. Good night.